just posted up out here.
I can't say nothing about the court. I can't say nothing about that, right? I can't point out facts, could it?
What did they say? How did you meet me?
Well, I ran from the police. They came to cop me. They came to my house when they found out it was me. Tell them what happened with me and you a long time ago.
Let's talk about the viral moment when you said I'm fired. What y'all laughing at? Okay.
Well, and then you told the judge, you said, well, I got him a bond last week for a gun, and the judge was like, and he here for another one? Bond denied. I'm not trying to be like Sid Nash. I'm not about to be driving around no 18-wheeler no more. I'm not taking no showers at no truck stops, none of that.
Oh, y'all all know her?
Okay, say hi to everybody.
Where's Sam? She said she on the elevator.
I was on the elevator. Yes, I have an elevator in my house, so don't play with me. Let's talk about the viral moment when you said I'm fired. Tell us about that.
What you want to know about it? You fired.
Y'all ask the questions.
What you want me to tell them? Why I fired you?
Somebody ask the questions. I can't do this. He's not finna handle me like he handle other people.
See how you gonna get on here? You gonna get in your feelings.
Put me in.
How you gonna do that? Tell us how you gonna do that.
Well, it's a whole lot of interviews coming in, whole lot of money coming in. You know what I mean? So, all my life I always been giving back. I always been doing good by those. So, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Everybody keeps saying, "Are you going to keep rapping?"
If I rap, I ain't got nothing but some niggas and stuff to say.
No. Good morning.
This is like a piping hot question right now that everybody keeps asking.
Piping hot.
Why did you start coughing when 88 Hilton walked up to you?
Yo. So my journalism skills, or whatever you call them, they seem to be on point. When I spoke with Kayla, I asked her a couple questions, and she didn't answer them. She creatively dodged them. That was crazy, but it means I was actually on point. I asked her about who she knew in Thug's family, and then she brings up Thug's sister on her podcast. So, but she ain't tell us exactly. Like, she ain't want to get into details, but I just thought everything was interesting. Salute to everybody in here. Good morning. You know what I mean? This Woody train and really then took everybody off track with the YSL trial. I'm going to keep it real. This picture is crazy, ain't it? Tap the like button. Type in the chat what he look like, who he look like. Turn me up. We about to go in. Hold on. Oh, come on. I mean, you can sleep. What you got somewhere else to be? Yeah. Good morning. I appreciate y'all being here. All the people that's here, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Straight up. Because essentially, I mean, they basically just throwing the whole trial out the window, it looked like. Everybody just parlaying around, going and talking about it at different places. You know, they acting like they shouldn't be talking about it, but they are talking about it. So it's weird. Like, you got Thug's sister coming out to Cut One, do interviews now. With the spider shirt on, looking like y'all. But you got someone who works in the DA's office who cool with Thug's sister. Let's really assess that, though. Think about it. Tap the like button for me. I appreciate y'all being here. Straight up, like, really. Real rap. Let's think about that, though. Yo, she knows Thug's sister. They up there kicking the bobo. So how long did they, I ain't watch it. How long have they known each other? Think about that. Tap the like button. I appreciate y'all being here. We about to grind it out. I got a couple hours for y'all. Yeah. Anita Powell, salute. Joseph, salute. Leonard, Fahim, Minnie, Jenny. Yeah. D. You already know, man. I appreciate y'all being here. Maurice, Wendy, Cloud, Slimeball, KP, IBN. Yeah. Lady Love. I appreciate y'all being here. Straight up. Sakina jumped in early. It's somebody else up there. I can't see. But yeah, y'all, hold on. We grinding out. Petey, DJ Manny. Yeah, I seen you was in here early. LaDana. Yeah. Then Ready. All right. I ain't watched the interview with his sister. They seemed like they was having like just a generic conversation from the little piece I clicked, but I decided that I really ain't want to, um, what is it called? I ain't want to barge in on a convo. You feel me? I felt like I could just, get it from y'all. Um, Good morning. I appreciate y'all being here. If I ain't said already, straight up. Since she's from Georgia, I'm quite sure she's probably been doing slime them for a couple decades. Well, she says she's been a lawyer for 8 years, 7 to 8 years, roughly. 85% criminal. She represented somebody on the other side of the RICO. Well, on YFN. If I'm not mistaken, she represented someone from YFN named Drip. I could be wrong. Maybe she just helped him get a bail or something. I don't know for sure. I ain't looked that deep into the case. I asked on their stream how it was that Kayla claimed she didn't know anything about the case when she defended herself about not sticking up for Woody. Um, I mean, at this point, yo, I don't think she gonna be doing too much answering, like sticky questions. That's why I ain't really try to even press her. I mean, I can't even ask her about some of the things I was interested in. It's become a circus now. Anita, the interesting thing about it is, did it look like a circus from the beginning and we just didn't know? With Fannie Willis popping up there, all glammed up, talking about she got Rico this, gang this. Then they sell us this Rico, right? We bought it. Then they gave us two other trash Ricos, right? Like that YFN Rico was phony. And drug rich Rico. It was phony. Tap the like button. I appreciate y'all being here. Let's get some people in here. Share this on social media. So hold on. So everybody running around doing, the Weinstein doing interviews is tricky. I ain't want to watch them because I don't want to get flagged, y'all. You are right. They didn't answer, but had the moderator tell me to basically answer my own questions. I get that. But the weird part is she just interjected herself into the whole trial and took the narrative. So now she controlling the narrative and we ain't know who she was a couple days ago. Think about that, bro. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. I appreciate y'all being here. Something fishy. Shantae, what up? Felix, what up? The sister stood on business and didn't talk about the trial at all. She said she couldn't because she was on the defense witness list. She talked about her rap career. Bro, why would the sister come talk with a lawyer, essentially, that popped out and is milking the trial and controlling the narrative? It's the narrative that she pushing in favor of Thug. I mean, she's supporting a whole turkey right now. She popping out supporting Woody, y'all. Tap the like button. I need some people. We should be able to get 100. Yeah, I know we grinding. It ain't no court today. This the real, like, see, this separating the people from the thug addicts from the non-thug addicts. For real. Y'all remember the thug addict thing? Now people told me to chill, right? Is this clearly not a sign of something fishy? Loyalty. When KB mentioned having a judge on the panel, I clicked off. Nah, you ain't had to click off. Nah. Nah, y'all couldn't help but go watch it. So listen, you get what you deserve. No, don't click off. Nah, y'all caught up in the thug in the blender. You ain't smart enough to not go click it in the first place. So you deserve being a clown. You feel me? And anybody in here defending them, you a goofball. It's a clown show, and it's been a whole clown show. Hey, Jenny, allegedly. Nah, go ahead with that allegedly. Fuck that allegedly. Respectfully, though. Chill out. Y'all dumb. Y'all be going for anything. So y'all deserve to be swindled by some idiots. Straight up. Y'all be floating over there, just floating on the internet, looking at dumbass people. Straight up. So y'all get what y'all deserve. Y'all ain't get no info, no back page, no backstory. Y'all clowns. Hey, Jenny, you a clown. Straight up. I'm clowning people that watched it. Straight up. Y'all clowns. Straight up. Straight up. You a gossip whore. Seriously. I be really kicking that shit. Niggas don't be saying nothing. Niggas don't champion me to other people. Niggas don't talk about me in other chats. So you people lame as shit, man. Been over here cooking. Straight up. So like all the people I don't even recognize that's just talking like, yo, yeah, man, you's a goofball. Straight up. I ain't got no respect for you. You deserve that corny ass content. Now go back over there. Straight up. So yeah, Jenny, go ahead over there and enjoy yourself. You the reason why they lame. Seriously. Y'all the reason. The people that go over there and watch it. Because y'all just gotta have all the gossip. It ain't even nothing there. Y'all just be, but y'all don't push none of these stories that's under the cut that ain't been forced by the media. Y'all don't push none of them. Y'all don't push none of them. So I ain't even gonna lie. I got the right to look down on y'all. Guys is goofballs and clowns. Straight up. Y'all go for anything, so y'all deserve it. Y'all phony for real. I ain't got no respect for y'all. Straight up. I lost all respect for the people on the internet. I'm going to keep it real. Tap the like button. I know you probably don't want to hear this. I know you probably don't. I know you probably don't. It ain't nothing to capitalize on. What you going to cover? If you just popped up covering the trial and you just based off Woody antics, what you going to do now? Ain't no more antics. What you going to do now? You don't know his backstory. You don't know how he's been created, how Thug ain't a thug. You don't know about all the phony people that's been around Young Thug to create this phony character that they trying to portray to us as a real gang member in a real RICO trial, when in reality, none of y'all people don't even really know what the streets really look like, or you would have been calling this out for being a fake trial in the first place. This Black Hollywood showing off, using pawns, rooks, and other sorts of game pieces to make us believe something right now. We watching some type of show. We watching case law get built. We watching the different laws of a state get built and structured in our face with a fake trial. Let me chill. Hey, who just got on the screen? I really get busy. Who you? Felix, you ain't no different from the mass. Don't try to separate yourself from them. You ain't showed me no difference. So don't do that. You just try to find out what's going on. Nah, y'all lames just be searching and everywhere, and y'all don't clarify who really be kicking that shit, and y'all accept them when they tell y'all that they controlling the narrative. So nah, Jenny, don't tell me you just be trying to find out. Fuck you just trying to find out. Stamp who really getting busy, instead of letting the ops and other people say who really getting busy and control the narrative. So fuck that, you just trying to find out. Your nosy ass here got our community fucked up. Got all these outsiders coming in. Straight up. So fuck that. Fuck that. Let's really talk about it though. I thought people was really interested in the trial, wanted to see guys come home. Nah, guys just want to see more black men on the stand telling. That's what people really been interested in. Yeah, getting a kick out of it. Eating popcorn like they Michael Jackson in Thriller or something. Looking all sneaky and shit. Yellow eyes glowing and shit. knowing he don't want to date that bad thing beside him. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Straight up. Doris says she was married to Kayla's brother, and Kayla is godmother to their son. Yo, I ain't never seen you type in my chat, so I don't need that gossip. I don't need no more. I've been called out guys as plants. Y'all don't be listening. So unless God's going to give me some credit, I really don't even need to hear no more from the interview. And why Shorty pop up in my chat and try to take people over there if she got connections to her sister, to your sister? So won't y'all pull her card? Yo, why you come to EBAN chat and try to steal his peoples? If you know Thug's sister and you connected to all of these people and you a millionaire, why did you do that? Why would you do that to build a page for some clout so you could smile in their face all day? Why would you do that? I'm mad. Bro, this ain't anger. Can you respond to something that I'm questioning you with? Or you really can't answer none of the questions? Don't point the finger and blame somebody else for being able to pull your card on something. Yeah, you the same one that was going over there flooding in the chat, spamming my name, and I ain't asked you to do it, so go ahead. My bad. I meant to get you right anyway. Yeah, go ahead. You slipped and fall. My neck and my back. Stop playing with me. I don't know you. So don't try to come over here and make your name green or linger around like you cool. I don't even rock with people that use the term 420. We been smoking. That's a term created by opposition to force people into believing that it's a real thing, that you should hop on a bandwagon of playing with this green leaf. Chill out. Made on a college campus somewhere. Stop. We don't even do that. We don't even do that. Yeah. You are now tuned in to 101.9. Yep. And we taking them to church on a Monday. So, like I said, let's really, yeah. Oh, you got another 420? I'm blocking all 420s. So, all this time I've been trying to help Thug come home. Nah, let him stay in jail. Now I want him gone for life. Yeah. Now I'm helping the state. Yeah, since his sister went and sat down with opposition. Yeah, then he need to go to jail. He need to go to jail. They want to condone the ratting? All right, bet. Say less. Stand on that. Nobody ain't championing nobody trying to get these boys homes or building a defense. It's more popular to promote the opposition. Say less. Let's see him go to jail. Let's see him go to jail. I've been putting up 100 days of trying to build a defense. And they told me that somebody that don't build defenses is the best. All right, say less. We let somebody like Kayla, she shouldn't even be allowed in Atlanta no more. I thought dudes was thugging. Shorty ain't helping no black community. Shorty tried to take money up out of it. Then tell us that other people is better at performing in things in our own community. Yo, who care about the black community gonna do that? If you really from the trenches, is you ever gonna send a job out to people outside your community? Would you ever do that? You grew up in the trenches and you pointing fingers at people to get a job, and you point all the way down the road, all the way to like 4 counties over. That's crazy. Pay attention to who you champion. Taking food out your kid's mouth, job security, being spent out. Think about that. A black lawyer removing job security from the black community. Wow. While she's absorbing the steam for herself. Seriously, pay attention to what Shorty doing. She redirecting traffic to herself and other people outside the community. All while Shorty had signed up to work in the DA's office when I asked her if she sent some black men up the road. She said, I don't really remember. I don't really, I ain't. So now, since I was championing Thug and nobody from his family or nobody from the streets came over and said, yo, I ain't gonna lie, yo, you really holding it down, bro. You really be going in like on the fly though. Like really like live, like if you listen to me live, like bro, it's genuine, bro. I put a lot of hours up really watching the trial, seeing how they trying to cook homes up. It ain't just about the content. I really want to see guys come home. These other people don't care. They thinking about they self. Straight up. They ain't thinking about nobody that's in a situation like Thug that ain't famous right now. Think about that. Take yo back to the gold teeth with the chip tooth. Off the back of the what? What car he hit it on? What car they said? Yo, yeah, yo, I remember, yo, Thug chipped the tooth on the, yeah. Remember that? Like, bro, these same people don't care about dark-skinned kids in these inner cities on regular days. They out there now. They out there now, y'all. Ashy, need some tennis shoes, elbows scratched. Try and get in some cars so they can hit a lick. So they can, yeah. Kayla working in a situation that's sending them boys up the river, filling up them big boxes they got sitting on the outside of Georgia. Let me chill. Let me chill. Let me chill. Just spark up. I don't even know why I'm talking like this. You don't get no kudos for talking like this. You get kudos for putting veneers in your mouth and talking smooth and peachy for everybody. Ask Thug or ask Kayla. Leonard, don't type that term no more. Ain't no color coding in here, Leonard. No, none of it. If I ain't gotta say it, you ain't gotta say it. There's no need to put the color on it. You know what's up. So let's just drop that so they can't spin us. I done taught y'all how to do that now. We in the future. Ain't no using that. They gonna weaponize it against you. Tighten up. Tighten up. Yeah, I don't do that. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. If you left out, you just ain't really, you really don't care about Thug. You really don't. So I'm with you. Let him go to jail. Scratch them 100 days I was sitting up here trying to figure out, did they really try to line yo up or some type of alternative motives for the crimes they trying to elude that he pushed the button on. Clearly, we see that this man is distant from the criminals that they have charged with the crimes. I ain't heard these other people create creative angles on how we could just keep layering defenses to prove and to help the people understand that these gangs ain't really gangs. See? Why they don't spend their time trying to help these people really understand, giving them insight? Because clearly when you see the media dress them up and keep plastering them up on your daily news in the wrong context, that's why they getting sent up the river in the first place. But guys ain't got time to talk about none of that on a regular day. Why Woody went inside that prison system. Why he was exposed to this much bull in the first place. Surely something happened to his parents. He ain't had the guidance he needed. This not a problem. The state can't take care of this. They filling up prisons with kids because they can't take care of the problems of actually nurturing these young people so their minds is actually put in the right spot and they not traumatized from the dangerous urban environment that was created by elders, not them. People don't really want to talk. People be just wanting to hear some gossip real quick. Straight up. You ought to be ashamed of yourself that you don't question these people with the right questions to really see what's really going on. What you doing? Have you got your eyes checked? You should go to Lens Crafter. I don't think you see what's going on. Straight up. Straight up. Your path and your perception being molded by somebody outside of your household. How you feel about that? Now you show interest in this case. Your opinion on this case is being pushed. You can't feel it? Your opinion on this case and young black man is being pushed by this trial right here. You can't feel it. You can't feel it. How you think the rest of the world looking at young black man in the United States right now? What about the people in the United States? Don't they got to vote soon? Ain't voting based on crime? Whoa. Whoa. Yo, if you going to come out and talk, right? You should have been talking. So, I find it odd that we got some of these things going on that's going on. So what he say, y'all? Listen. What he say? They leaked the video of him talking with Viverito and Flores. You know, the 3-hour mixtape that they released. They claiming the state released that, y'all. They leaked it. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. I appreciate you being here. Straight up. Help me get to 100. Maybe 2. For real. Urban, what up? Kennedy, what up? Yo, the state leaked the video? Is that room for mistrial? I asked about this in the first place. Ghost, what's up? I say, yo, if videos got leaked, I assume that the defense did it as a weapon. Put it out there, shake yo up a little bit. That's their lead witness. Now, I ain't want to tell on the defense, but I mean, they ain't obligated. They gonna just play the 50 like, yo, we don't know how it got leaked, right? Because it got access. Multiple people got access to it at a certain moment, right? So it basically turned in. I'm assuming that's how it worked, but it looked like it basically was up in the air. I don't know how it got released, but what he say? The state did it. What that boy used on the skin? Yeah, hell yeah, that boy glowing, ain't he? It might be because that boy was drinking so much jail water. Straight up. Tap the like button. These young pictures of yo look crazy, bro. Like, nah, he actually doesn't look crazy. He looks like just a wild little kid. Straight up. He just looked like he was put in a position where yo, you literally, he's a product of his environment. Keita, I appreciate that. Straight up, tap the like button for me, y'all. Keita, I appreciate that, for real. I really appreciate the people that's been paying attention to the way we was covering it. And I don't mean that in a way of, in comparison. Because I do believe that people can watch multiple people cover the trial and be fine. I do believe you got some people that's coming into the arena. Their intentions, I don't know what their intentions is. I really come in as joint to put up good content in context and not spread no, clickbait or gossip. For real. Real rap, y'all. That's my whole point. So I appreciate the people that really, can consume the content. I don't want to just milk it. Nah, I'm really interested because it's a bigger idea on, we basically looking at, out of all trials, we could say this one rap is on trial the most. The attention, the artist level, the concept that's going on, attaching the gangs to rappers in the entourage. See, if y'all not paying attention, that's what's on trial. The black man and his entourage, whether they're a gang color-coded or not, they're being considered to be a RICO once there's more than 3 of them. Y'all do know that, right? So regardless if your kid or your nephew or your uncle or your sister is in a real gang or not, they will be charged in a gang if they commit crimes and there's more than 3 of them. You understand? So you might want to pay attention anyway, because some of this stuff might become relevant sooner or later. You would think somebody like Kayla would be on the YouTube and giving somebody a 10-count way of avoiding Ricos. Not telling you how to break law, and do it in a way that could save you. Nah. But surely a lawyer could word something to save black men from being in trouble, right? I mean, simple things like, yo, don't do this with social media. I'm a lawyer who went to school for such and such. Listen to me. Don't do this on social media. You seen any of them doing that? Hey, G-Ski, you trying to cut me off, bro? Just relax, bro. Come on, bro, chill. Matter of fact, admit that you out of pocket right now. Just go ahead and chill, bro. You out of pocket, you not in context. So respectfully, you cool. Come on, bro, but chill. Chill. Please. I'm cooking, and you ain't adding to nothing I'm saying. You telling me no, bro, all this. You trying to subtract from the bill, bro. I'ma respectfully ask you, yo, I seen you reaching. Relax. Stop doing what you're doing. So, yo, I find it odd that we at this part of the trial. The whole trial fumbled. The trial looked like from the beginning they used Woody as a key witness. A key for what? Well, you must need another key because you ain't getting through the door of finalizing this RICO with this witness. And the weird part about it is, I said this at the beginning, y'all. I'm talking about before the trial started. If this boy they key witness, bro, they are hurt. This must be a show because using a criminal. Yeah, sorry, you two behind and you talking off point, bro. Sorry, bro. You no good. You no good for the chat, bro. You out of bounds, bro. You distracting. Straight up. Sorry about that. Yo, one's in the chat if Holmes was distracting. 2 if he wasn't. I'll bring him back. It's on y'all. But Holmes just went off too many times. We ain't got time for it. We building. Yeah, we ain't got time for that. Like, it's 2 left. That was 2 left. I gave him a chance. I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, thank you, y'all. So I was just making sure I ain't, I appreciate y'all. Y'all the greatest. Tap the like button. Good morning. I appreciate y'all being here for real. Straight up. I wanted to keep him, y'all, because me and him had a little misunderstanding, and we sorted it out, but it was really just a distraction. Because look what he doing again. Like, he in here really distracted. Like, that was crazy. Super distracted. Y'all seen him? That was crazy. All right, sorry. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't out of pocket. I mean, it's all in good faith right now. We upbeat in good spirits. If we just had to bless him. I appreciate y'all. Straight up. Keeping me sane. Joseph Corleone, Burberry, Dell, Savannah, Lakeisha, Jimmy Rabone Jr. Yeah. Nicole Paris, Lil Keith. We got Lil Keith in here. All right. So, bro, I appreciate him. We could bring him back, but not really, because Yo accused me of doing something wrong. And technically we sorted it out, but now he off point, so he gotta go. So, yo, we got Woody. All right, so just to let y'all know, yo, in my eyes, Woody shouldn't even have been available in 2015. This for the people who wasn't here over the weekend. Now, I explain this. Now, I done went through Woody's jacket that's available, right? It's a lot, right? As you can see. Yeah, I didn't really went through. All right, so yeah, we got the Roscoe Dash Woody. Yeah, he look worried right there, don't he? I wonder what happened to him this day. Yeah, let's get to it. Tap the like button. Y'all thought I was playing on Monday? Hold up. I am not playing. Hold on. I am not playing. Hold on. Y'all want to see him with the face he be making? This the face he make now. He learned it this day. Yeah. Latasha, salute. Sweet Pea. Kazan. Yeah, look at him, y'all. Yeah. That's it, ain't it? He learned it this day. Hold on. Nah, bring your little ass. Bring your little ass, boy. I ain't done with you, boy. Bring your little... A baby? Oh, no, Nicole. No, you want to see the picture where he look like a baby. Look, ho. What happened? Whoa. What? What kind of charges? Boy look like a whole dope fiend, and this one though. Hold up. What's up with him? Holmes look like Holmes from DC. Don't say his name. Don't say who he is. Tell me he don't look like y'all. Tell me he don't look like y'all. Tap the like button. I'm turned. I'm turned early in the morning. You know who he look like. Yeah, DC, yo. Out the back of the, out the Caprice. Tell me, bro. Bro, who's G? I don't know G, baby. Yeah. Look at the charges. Hold on, you want to see a baby? Yeah. Nah, I ain't never seen but he really looked like DC, yo, out the Caprice. Yeah, little box Chevy. Yeah, little box Chevy Mo. Yeah, Dominique. He look like box Chevy Mo, don't he? In that other picture, yo look like box Chevy, yo. Crazy. That's crazy, bro. Look at this picture. He look bad as hell, don't he? He looks sad and bad at the same time. Yo looks sad and bad at the same time. Tap the like button, y'all. Turn me up. Nah, y'all. All right, y'all. It's a clear example. I mean, we got clear understanding of why Holmes spent. Holmes' mom's passed away, y'all. Yeah. Now I ain't gonna blame that on that, but I'm gonna have to say, if that happened to me around these years, cuz I'm gonna keep it real. Depending on where I lived at, that's basically I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's ready to go down. Seriously, cause that's like something that'll make somebody like, if anything could challenge what you ready to do and how you gonna react to things. I ain't gonna lie, I think that mom joint right there, I think that'll shake you up a little bit. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't trying to build no defense for y'all. Nah, not at all. But I'm gonna have to say, I can't relate to that. Cause in these years, some might have said that I was a little bit wild. I was getting kicked out of school, you know. I wasn't, put it like this, I was smart enough not to get to really playing with pistols for no reason. So I understood the difference. Like, yo, you feel me? But I'm going to have to say, my mother was smart enough to get me out of a direct environment where that might have been called for. You understand? I wasn't in direct poverty where, yeah, it's just the norm for the, guns to be floating around and guys to be running, taking stuff from people. I happen to be living in the area where as though you had to go get involved in that if you wanted to be involved. Now, if we'd have stayed where I was at, though, yeah. So I can't relate to Woody, but so much. I can't even say I understand. I don't think a lot of us can relate. I ain't defending him, though. But I think that actually, I think that had an effect on y'all. I ain't trying, But these pictures, I mean, Holmes got 2 gun charges under 18, y'all. The dad more than the mom. Boys need a dad more than mom. Nah, but like that mom, bro. Nah, bro. That mom. I mean, I believe both. Don't get it twisted. I don't really separate the two. The mom more than the dad. I don't really do that. I believe it's equivalent. I think either one of them gone in different, like they really passed away. Both of them gonna shake them up. But proximity, the nurturing effect of the mom. So if he lived with the mom, you know how that go in these households. More of us live with our moms. That's why I say that mom joint. That's crazy. That mom one is like, yo, you feel me? The dad one, I ain't gonna say it ain't that, but I think the dad would have to be in the sole parent position to get the same response like the moms, bro. That's just mine. And keep in mind, I grew up in a house with my mother. So that might be why I'm looking at it like that. For real. They need both. Yeah. But it's safe to say that some of them might lash out depending on how their relationship was. So that's what we dealing with, y'all. Depending on the relationship. And certain people gonna respond different. Thank you for being authentic. It takes a strong person to stand up alone and say this is wrong, and we can't stand. EBAN, you are not alone. You are creating a movement. I'm a grandmother. Yeah, in Florida. Salute, Kennedy. I appreciate that. Yeah. Losing your dad just as equal. I could dig it. You already know. Yeah. My house was my mom based. So I'm a lean that way most of the time in these conversations because, yeah, but I do know people who had the reverse, who had, they father household where it's just the father and they turn it, you feel me? Yeah, same way though, you feel me? So I can see it going both ways. Mm. No excuses for Woody though. Listen, he adapted. All of us adapt. Does it take a toll? I believe so. Some might say it got something to do with what they're calling to be mental health issues right now. You know how like they got like this big umbrella, kind of like a RICO, the way as though they just throw like problems underneath this umbrella, and they call it that. Well, lack of guidance in the household could leave you with some type of gap, right? Whereas though you kind of like lost, and then once you go out in society, that could finish the gap, shake you up a little bit, throw you around. Life. I call it life. Life whooping somebody at. Yeah. I say that to people like, yeah, life be whooping. Yeah, life will womp you. For real. Yeah, beat you. Hands and feet. Hands and feet. For real. What you know about that? Tap the like button. Help me get to 200. Mental health with drugs. Well, regardless, if you go to the doctor or you on the street self-medicating, it's drugs. So it's like, what you gonna do? No one to lead them the right way? Let me ask y'all something. With lack of jobs and low minimum wage that doesn't equate to survival, what is leading? Yo, we sure? Yo, people growing up in the bottom of the crab barrel, bro. Are we sure somebody not leading them right? Like, think about that. Like, when you really come from the bottom, though, like, you technically gonna have to do something a little bit more drastic. Y'all do know working your way out the ultra bottom, it's like crazy. Not like it can't be done. Nah, yeah, I done did it. I done made some moves. Resources only take you so far. That's a fact. That's a fact. You gotta apply. It's a little bit of luck in there too. Yo, put ones in the chat for the people who don't never speak about the little bit of luck involved. Hold on, bro. Put ones in the chat if you believe there's a percentage of luck involved in having a successful life versus the choices. Like, yo, hold on. I don't be hearing this from nowhere. I don't hear nobody. Yo, everybody like to say, yo, nah, yo, you in charge. Yo, all right, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you on a like a small, like a, you know, your decision making to a certain level. Yeah, you right. But bro, ain't no one person in control of the total amount of job security. You understand? Like, you can't change that. Like, a teenager that wants a job can't force new jobs available. So what he gonna wind up doing? He 15, he want a job. They won't hire to 16. 13 need a job. 12. Can't get no job yet. What we gotta do? You know what we gotta do, man. You know what we gotta do. We ain't going to school. We ain't going to school if we dirty. We ain't got no new clothes. We ain't going. How about that? Straight like that. Not today. Not tonight. We ain't going no more. Like, you understand? We ain't getting joked no more. So we might as well go try and make something shake outside, right? Then you go to school with other people who having a little bit because they people done learned how to figure out how to maneuver a little bit. So you gotta figure out how to maneuver a little bit. So it's forcing you to jump into the work industry early. Scratch education. Bro, we need to eat today. So, like, I'm just saying this, like, in reference to people like Woody. I know a million. Man, I swear to God, yo, 70 to 80% of the rappers that come in the studio, I'm gonna have to say, they similar to Woody. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, most of the people that's coming in the studio now is guys off the street that's rolling the dice trying to do something in the entertainment industry because they need some type of career. For real. Tap the like button. Salute to everybody in here. I appreciate you being here. Good morning. Good morning. Straight up. So I'm using Woody as a reference. If you look right here, that's just some of his charges. Now, I ain't really bring this up to be going through all his charges. I did look at all his charges. His jacket read like a young kid that's off the porch early, and he want to prove himself. It's all of us know one of these. All of us. 11, 12, 13, 14, already, he looking up to some guys, and he following right in suit. Now, depending on who around him that tell him, chill, yo, you can't do that. Y'all know how this go. You literally got to take the strap out of his hand, smack the blunt out of his mouth. You feel me? Yo, stop playing, bro. Yo, we ain't doing that around here. Like, but if you ain't got nobody doing that. Now, I was one of these. They got the little bull right there. I'm like, yo, don't get at the yo. Like, nah, yo, it's cool. Nah, yo, don't get at the yo. When I ain't around, though, you know what they gonna do. They gonna give it to yo. How he out here with us? Because his older brothers, where they at? Locked up. Straight up. I literally grew up in neighborhoods with these little dudes. Seriously. They like 4 years younger than us. They outside with us all the time. You ask him, yo, what is you doing out here? He trying to be down. Out of 6 of us out there, only one person is smart enough to say, nah, yo, don't let yo come with us. Nah, he can't do this. Yo, don't give yo that. It's only, I'm telling you, it only be like 1 or 2 that's going to say, nah, don't do that. The other ones think it's funny. Think he cool. Nah, bro, he cool, yo. Nah, bro. So, just letting y'all know, we all got this story right here we watching. Man, we all a part of this storyline. So, like, we could look at this like it's some type of show right now. But, bro, this ain't no show. Them other kids can't monetize. That boy was going through trauma to get here, bro. That boy been getting essentially You know what I mean? Going in and out of prison. Yo, just product for the state with a broken family. In and out the jail system, and they groomed him as a young bull to be a goddamn jailbird his whole life. So they making jailbirds, y'all? Guys who just don't mind going in and out the prison system. How to make a jailbird. I got uncles, bro. They been in jail my whole damn life. I'm talking about even if one come home, but you right back in there. I ain't never seen them on the streets, damn near. For real. Jailbirds. It's a normal thing. I might have been one. Yo, so listen. This is what I'm saying, though. When you see Thug Sister, when you see Thug Sister sit down with somebody like that, and you sit down and realize that they had a relationship already. So what we looking at? Like, Kayla is making Woody popular right now, but yet Thug's sister wants to sit down with Kayla? Think about that, bro. Think about that, bro. Ask yourself how that worked. I'm just tripping, bro. I mean, I ain't trying to trip off of it, but I'm just sitting back looking like, hold on, bro. The key witness, cool with a lawyer that's cool with my family. Say the sister was married to Kayla's brother. Hold up. Yo, we got like some type of family affair going on. Somebody just said this in the chat, y'all. I'm going off. These are all rumors, bro. These are all rumors. This is weird, though. I ain't crazy, though, bro. Tap the like button. Salute. Slime. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Yo, what y'all thought I wasn't ready? Where the courthouse at? I'm prepared. I got my briefcase and all. Not playing, man. Tap the like button, y'all. Help me get to 200, man. Let's grind it out. Hold up. Let's get to some content. Yeah. The A is small. Hold on. You said you want to call in. Oh, yeah. Hold on, y'all. Let's rock. Pull up. Pull up. Yeah. Let's get to it. All right. Hold up. Tap the like. Here we go. Party time.
I can't say nothing about the court. I can't say nothing about that, right? I can't point out facts, could it?
Woody, they say, how did you meet me?
Well, I ran from the police. They came to cop me. They came to my house when they found out it was me. Tell them what happened with me and you a long time ago.
Let's talk about the viral moment when you said I'm fired.
Tap the like button.
What y'all laughing at? Okay.
What
And
year,
then you
brother?
told the judge, you said, well, I got him a bond last week for a gun, and the judge was like, and he here for another one? Bond didn't.
Pay attention to that. She got him a bond 1 week. Then he got charged with another yistle slightly after that, right? And she went in there and told the judge, yeah, I just got him off a week ago on a joint. Would you say that as a lawyer? Tap the like button. I appreciate y'all being here, and I appreciate all of the people that's giving me compliments. I appreciate that, y'all. Straight up. I'll be doing this for y'all. The green suspenders? Okay. Av the King, salute. Gold Mine. Yeah. Dana. True story. Zariah. Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was interesting, y'all. She got him bailed out. Now, mind you, I asked her, like, yo, what cases, who you represented? So she said she basically be getting people bailed out, y'all. She known in the courthouse, if you ask. She popular over there. That's what she said. But I wouldn't say that as a lawyer. I would hope the judge don't say it. I would not allude to it. I would never say nothing about, no, I just got you off on a gun charge. Hopefully you're not the same judge. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to address this situation and pray that the judge does not see that last week you had this same charge. I would pray. I would pray. Seriously. So I just think that's odd that she said that. In a bail review or a bail.
I'm not trying to be like Sid Nash. I'm not trying to be like Sid Nash. I be driving around no 18-wheeler no more. I'm not.
Yo, why you throw him under the truck like that?
Not taking no showers at no truck stops, none of that.
Oh, y'all all know her?
Okay, say hi to everybody.
Where's Sam? She said she on the elevator.
I was on an elevator. Yes, I have an elevator in my house, so don't play with me. Let's talk about the viral moment when you said I'm fired. Tell us about that.
What you want to know about it? You fired.
Y'all ask the questions.
What you want me to tell them? Why I fired you?
Somebody ask the questions. I can't do this. He's not gonna handle me like he handle other people.
See how you gonna get on here? You gonna get in your feelings.
Put me in.
How you gonna do that? Tell us how you gonna do that.
Well, it's a whole lot of interviews coming in, whole lot of money coming in.
Whole lot of interviews, whole lot of money. For being on the dark side? So for being a person that could potentially put Thug away.
You know what I mean? So all my life I always been giving back. I always been doing good by those. So I'm not. No, I'm not.
Everybody keeps saying, "Are you going to keep rapping?"
If I rap, I ain't got nothing but some niggas and stuff to say.
This is like a piping hot question right now that everybody keeps asking. Why did you start coughing when 88 Hilton walked up to you?
I don't even recall.
You ain't gonna never get no work. What are you doing?
Y'all be think I be faking?
But why would you?
What you smell? Yo, going to... Yo. Bump is not a good attorney. I ain't gonna say she's not a good attorney. I think she's actually... I'm giving her credit. I'm giving her credit on being... I don't know what the word is. She's skillful enough with words and know what to say and what not to say. She get that part. I'm gonna keep it real. She get that.
This thing.
Who? Yo, what's up? Who that? What you say? Kazan, you on, bro? What's up?
Oh shoot, man! I ain't even.
Yeah, you in here, time. Baby. What you talking about? We live.
Yeah, man. I didn't know. Let me say good morning.
Yeah, good morning. You from Atlanta, bro?
Man, you had me hyped up, man. When you're speaking on that mother part.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Speak. Yeah, let us know what you got.
No, I'm not from Atlanta, but I did used to live in DeKalb. I used to go to mortuary school over there.
So what you think about
one of the points that I wanted to make? Oh, I keep getting my little feedback here. Let me see what I can do to straighten that out.
Yeah, mute your other playback.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, now we ready. All right, so let me explain something about Atlanta. And a lot of people in the South, like I'm in Florida. I used to live in Alabama. So a lot of us growing up in the 90s, I'm gonna be 52. So let me put an age bracket up there. I'm gonna be 52. So I'm going back to the 90s. And a lot of us moved to Atlanta for that come up. It was the black Mecca, if you will.
Yeah.
Now you got to understand something. Most of us that come from outside of Atlanta or Georgia that move there, we normally get those, we go over there, we get our education, we get a job. We're normally out in Stone Mountain. For the locals, though, that are born and raised there in Atlanta, for the most part, all of them, if you got a little bit of money, if you're a hustler, if you're a lawyer, if you got doggone major DJ, if you anything in the side of that box in Atlanta, it's not that big. It doesn't surprise me a bit if a lawyer was dating a street dude. That just does not catch me off guard. I'm gonna use this for an example. Take that Judge Peterson lady that also did an ex parte and they knocked her out the box last week. When she got in that trouble, where was she at? She was at the club. Now, I don't know where I don't know about where you're at or where I'm at here in Pensacola, but you're not going to find too many judges at no club hanging out with the regular people. You know what I'm saying? They normally be somewhere drinking their mimosas and lattes. So this picture, if you've never been to Atlanta, never lived there and whatnot, you kind of have this picture in your head that is this big city and nobody really knows each other except for the small pocket locals. And that's not true. Everybody kind of know everybody if you're dealing in a little bit of money. You with your skills could be in Atlanta and be right in the mingle of some of the names that's already been mentioned, some of these lawyers, especially the brothers and sister lawyers. You'll be right up in the mix of them. I'm not saying you would know them personally, but it wouldn't be nothing if you was a go out type of brother or like to hit the hot spot. It wouldn't be no problem for you to hold your head up and see people that you done seen all through this trial and everything, especially if they look like us.
It's the people
That's the one
that's
point I
having
wanted to
things.
make.
The people that's
other
having
thing
things in your city.
Go ahead, brother.
I said it's the people that's having things in your city. My city got this loop. They got this group of people.
Right.
They you could put yourself in it. So the street dudes introduce themselves when they get a little bit of money. Now they can play in this circuit because they got money to dress and play the part with the vehicles and being at the events. Once you cross that threshold, this is what you do. It's day parties involved. You got, whether you want to go on, little trips that, groups be throwing, whatever it is, bike week, CIAA, all these types of weekends. We going to Vegas, Super Bowl, BET. Each city, the groups go on trips and they party in your city all year long. Now they the black elite, the black lawyers, the black business owners, the dudes in the streets that's actually the elite, not the bottom bum dudes in the streets. No, the dudes that's like middle class street dudes and up. Yeah. So like the lower level middle class dudes, I was one of them, y'all. We would be in these spots too. I wasn't high, but yeah, we was mingling in these spots too, because we could get our gear together and slide through. Is we caked up like the lawyers and these other people here? No. We they product, to be honest. So yeah, I've been in these events.
21 or 22, and you actually knocking off an attorney. You know how cool that would be to a brother. He 23, 24 years old. One of his little side chicks is a chick that went over there to Spelman or went to Clark.
Yeah, I was looking for one.
You see what I'm saying?
I couldn't find.
Right. That's a big deal.
I ain't had my bread up. I ain't gonna lie, when you go to these spots, it clicks in your head. Yo, when we go back home, I'm about to turn up a little bit more, bro. I ain't doing enough. For real. You go in the right spots with the black elite, you will get a reality check if you in the streets. Yo, in order to play this game, you gonna have to go turn up. Because you dealing with people who really got careers. For real. Imagine
Turn it
that, bro.
around.
You
Turn
uneducated.
it. Go the other way. Go the other way with it. Take the female. Okay, she don't went to law school. She a lawyer.
Mhm.
Another lawyer dude is boring to her. A street dude is exciting to her.
She
Okay,
crazy.
and don't nobody supposed to know that y'all kicking it. It's a big deal, and that's every day in the. See, I don't even call it Atlanta. I just call it the A. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? That's just a big deal in the A. To be in a situation like that, even if you a female and you done came from mom and dad, you done went and got your education, you done got you a job in Atlanta and whatnot. Man, that dude sitting up in your class, he a square. But that street dude, okay, to them sisters, okay, now he exciting and they're a little bit exquisite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's it like? You know what I'm saying? You could talk
Okay.
her, man, you could talk her all night, bro. And that's one of the other points that I wanted to make up. Like man, I wish some of the when I be looking at the chat, I'd be like, golly, I wish some of these people actually could go spend about a month. You know what I'm saying? Got your pocket right, go spend a month in Atlanta and you'll see what I'm talking about as far as this thing of the professional world and the street world where they collide, if that make any sense, brother.
They supported by each other.
Yes, sir. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
Can't have one without the other. I didn't want to dare put the lady in your chat, but I told you the other day. I came across a couple of interviews that she had did, and I'm like, this woman is. I cannot. I'm with you on this. I cannot understand how she elevated up to the top of. She's like the face of the YSL situation right now.
I called
Right
it.
now.
I said, yo, I don't know
Crazy.
what this is. I don't know what kind of campaign this is somebody running, but they is not playing. I call yo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm like I'm talking about. I seen one little cut where she was getting out the sports car and she had. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
what is? I'm not. I mean, they gotta understand the world is like looking in on this case. Been looking in on it. Okay. And I don't know. When it come down to our people, we kind of gonna be looking like a joke a little bit as far as how we conduct ourselves in certain places. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when I seen the woman, when I heard her talk, I said, and what somebody had made the point to you also about how in the world does a injury lawyer, what does an injury lawyer have anything to do with representing anybody in this, in the
Nah, I
situation with
got
the
a defender.
YSL.
I got a defender. So look, I checked. She 85% criminal lawyer. Her practice of being a injury lawyer is dwarfed by her criminal presence. So she's actually really a criminal lawyer, and she just prefers to go over in that field. So I don't want to disrespect her credibility. She actually is a real lawyer, y'all. I
I
looked in the
believe that.
files.
I do believe that. I believe
She
I
went for
have
the money though. I
no
ain't gonna lie,
problem with
smart
that.
move.
But I'm with you on something, E, that you hit it twice, but you didn't never really drill on it. I want to know when she made the comment that she represented Woody before. I wanted to know in what capacity, in an injury, was she, because she used to work for the prosecution side at one time.
Yeah.
Was she in the prosecutor's office when she was dealing with him? Was she in a defense attorney posture when I cannot for the life of me put that together because she said it out her mouth. You heard her, I heard her, your chat heard her. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? She
And she
said
ain't
that she
answer it, but she
definitely
told me to look at
represented
his
him
jacket.
before.
She ain't answer it. She told me to look at
No,
his jacket.
she hasn't.
Well, hold on. This what she did though. When she pulled Woody up on the next live stream, she said she represented him in bond and getting bail bond. So in 2 cases back to back in within a week, she represented Joe for 2 gun charges. That's what we
As
have
a public
confirmed. They said.
defender,
What'd you say?
as a public defender,
Ooh, good question.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a
Ooh,
good guy now. I'm just a regular American hardworking dude. But
yeah.
this is going to touch me in on something else you said. So my mom's death date is coming up next week, July the 13th, 1990. It was a Friday, hot. When my mom died at 37.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't lie. Like I was really too mean to live. And I felt like at that time I wasn't about to die. I was 17 going on 18. I done been in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I done been in trouble. I done been, you know what I'm saying? I done been through all of that. And you was hitting on some points that had me just so hyped up on how nobody never really have mercy on a young brother in a situation like that. I saw somebody in your chat said that if he wanted to, he could have did so much other with his life. Not so necessary. That's not necessarily true because you're
Right.
only a product of your community. If your
Facts.
community doesn't have those things in place for you to function, then you're going to be a product of the streets and you will
Facts.
probably wind up in the system. You,
Oh
you see
yeah,
what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying?
Ho,
So
ho, ho.
yeah,
Somebody
I was kind
corrected
of
us. Yo, for your
right.
question about whether he paid or not, he did pay her, bro. They did clarify that. So just to let you know, he did pay her. Good look on that, Al. Al reminded me in the chat. He did
He did
pay.
pay her. Okay, so she was not in a public defender capacity when she represented
Not at
him in
that
that
time,
bond
but that
hearing.
still don't throw that out the window. We still need to see at what point did she ever play that side. And all right,
Got you.
I'm questioning. I don't want to question this part because I'm leaning towards I don't want to challenge no lawyers. I mean, a lawyer went to school to learn what they're doing, so it's hard for me to judge whether a lawyer is good from where I'm at. You feel me? I would have to see some real stats or something, right? So look, I'm gonna give her a credit, but I will say this: he said she's known in the joint to get you a bail. I've never heard of that.
He's known in the joint in order to get you a bail. Let me
Yeah,
just
all
say that
right.
to
Look,
myself for
when
a
you
second.
need to get a bail, you already know you might need somebody to represent you to get a bail or make the bail happen. Do some paperwork instead of you just going in
Well, a
front of.
bond hearing is part of the process. You get arrested, you go in, you have your charges read off to you. It's not a plea day. You're not pleading. You just go in to hear a little bit of what they're trying to say, what the state is trying to say you did. And then at that moment, shortly right after that is your bond hearing. And then your bond is always graded by whatever the crime is, and whatnot. There may or may not be a bond on murder, but there would definitely be a bond on petty theft. You follow me?
So yeah, so if I might need to hire somebody like Kayla that can communicate in for me that can help this process so I can get a bond, right?
I disagree a little bit. You wouldn't necessarily hire a lawyer to specifically focus in on the bond. The bond is a given. You know what I'm saying? That's like the number eighth amendment. You know what I'm saying? No what they call it, no cruel and unusual punishment and no excessive bond. So a bond is part of the process. So I wouldn't really see a person getting a lawyer just to represent them in getting a bond. The bond is normally going to be represented by whatever the crime is.
All right.
If
So what if your bond got turned down? Then you go to
okay,
the
so if
lawyer.
bond is denied, if
Yeah.
bond is denied, then okay, fine. Your regular lawyer, once you like, okay, man, they denied me bond. I'm gonna use for an example. Let me call Steele up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get him to represent me. Okay, now Steele could come in on your behalf, file a motion, and try to get you back in front of the judge and go get mom, go get Uncle Will, and Auntie so to get them to come in, maybe a school teacher or maybe your preacher to come in and speak on your behalf to try to get you a bond. But even then, like I said, most things get a bond. Most crimes get a bond, except for I can't speak on murder or capital murder.
Right.
Those may vary.
Only other situations that make you not get a bond is if you're a flight risk with a whole bunch of a wild ass jacket. So now you ain't getting a
Flight
bond.
risk, if they feel like if there's a victim, if they feel like you might go in after the victim, if somebody come in there and give evidence, hey, he put it on Facebook that if he see the person that told on him, he gonna run up on him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that would be held against you in a bond hearing. But most of the time, though, like I said, I like to use petty theft, or you stole a car for that matter. You'll get a bond on that. They're not gonna really look at the flight risk. It's petty in the eyes of the law. But when you start getting into murder or capital murder, capital murder is 2 felonies were committed and somebody died. I not only did I take the dude's car, I shot and killed him. Well, the stolen of the car is 1 felony, and then the fact that I killed him is what makes that a capital murder. 2 or more felonies were committed, and that's how you get it. You probably won't get a bond on that, probably. But still coming out of Georgia, I like to go back to the Arbery case. One of the things that Greg, the guy that used to be on the DA's, the dad, I don't know if y'all remember that with the boy that was jogging and went in that little empty house that they were building. They chased him around the neighborhood, shot and killed the boy and whatnot. And they were almost about to give the father a bond because he worked for the prosecution's office. But at the same time, it was well televised, like this case was. They came back and denied it. I implore you, if you get a chance on your free time, go back to the Ahmaud Arbery case and then put in bond hearing, and you can sit there and you can listen to how they went and all the witnesses they called in to try to get them a bond and to prove that they could make the bond and whatnot. So those cases kind of give it, but look at what we're talking about. We're looking at a murder case where they chased the boy down. There was a couple of felonies in the one, and then they killed the boy and
Yeah, I'm
whatnot.
familiar.
So yeah, but the
That's a
little
wild one.
lighter stuff, you'll get a bond.
So look, let me ask you this. As far as this 100 days we just watched, since you're knowledgeable, you've been paying attention, right? As far as this
Yes,
100
sir. Yes,
days
sir.
we've been watching, have you seen, if you was on the jury, have you been convinced one way or the other so far? Let me ask it like that.
During what they call that the voir dire process when they're trying to pick a jury.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm going to remember the one lady that came in, she sent a note to the judge and she was trying to explain to the judge that one of the places that they had showed during the trial, she has to go right by there to go home.
Yeah.
And do you remember that?
Yep.
I'm sure the jury, if they haven't by now, I'm sure that they definitely know that there's something majorly going wrong. And I feel like the demographics, although I can't see the jury, you can't neither, except for that one little peekaboo they did that day. I think he's good with the jury. The issue
We know the
Glenville.
demographic,
I've been
bro.
watching this.
We know the
one
bus
more time,
now.
brother.
Yeah, we got the official bus now. It's majority black women, and majority of them are older, over 60. So I think I'm rough drafting it, but we looking at 70 to 80% older black women.
Oh, the black women. Okay. So now you know how they're going to kind of vary. They're going to look into their family. They're going to look at their sons. They're going to look at their nephews in the back of their mind.
Yeah.
If one of them done experienced and went to a funeral of a favorite nephew, he wasn't doing nothing to nobody, and these wannabe rapper dudes done, you know what I'm saying? She might feel one way. But before I touch on that, I want to hit on another point. I actually been watching this ever since when it first started with the bond hearing with THUG. There's something that Glenville said about a year and 3 months ago. So it had to be about last February. They were doing the motion hearings. This is when they were all those police officers that you done seen them talk to.
Yeah.
Before they put them in front of the jury, they had a motion hearing and they came in and spoke then. I knew Thug and them had a major issue. Glenville they were talking about the little song that Thug had made, and Love and them kept trying to tell the judge, yeah, judge, he even said F you and we'll take it to court or we'll take it to trial, whatever the song was.
Yeah.
And the
It's called
judge
Taking it to Trial.
listen, that judge said, Still said, these are good guys, they're hardworking in their craft. And Judge Glenville said, I don't know about that. To me, they a bunch. He said, you know what? I'm not even gonna put my opinion in this. When that man said that right there, I knew then these boys are gonna be in for a long ride, because when you have a prosecutor and a judge working together in harmony like a band, it's almost now. Thug gonna maybe be able to get be okay in this, and those guys sitting in there. But what about those other guys that's not being televised? You see what I'm saying? And how in the attention that's being put on them. Same, they're in front of a brother judge. They're in front of a brother judge. And when you go in front of a brother judge, especially Glenville, this man was in the military on the JAG. He did this in the Army. Now he's out here doing this as a civilian. In my head, and at 50, gonna be 52 in August, I said, I know he's naturally looking at them as little ends. You know what I'm saying? These little boys running around here thinking because they got this money, I'm gonna show them power. And that's what he's been trying to goddamn on rain down. He done said it 1,000 times, making it known that I'm going to run this courtroom. I have a certain amount of a square mile that I could work within my capacity as a judge, and I'm going to do it and then some. And right there, I knew that those boys were going to be in for a hard ride. But I got a homie over there. Actually, he's my cousin-in-law. He's not a foreman. He's the warden at one of the prisons over there. We're married to two first cousins. And he said to me one day at the barbecue, he said, Kay, if I ever get into a jam, man, tell my wife to either go get Steele or Harvey. You know what I'm saying? Because Harvey is no joke. You ain't never seen that judge get upside down with Harvey.
I said
he
that.
don't even play with Harvey back there because he knows. I wish Harvey would put a voice into this a little bit more, but at the same time, though, I'm sure he doesn't want to be held in contempt because the judge could do it. But no, to your original question, heck no, man, the jury is tired. They're ready. I'm talking about they're not making any money. The way that this done played out in front of their eyes, in the part that they hear, not what we hear. You know what I'm saying? When they go into the conference, the jury's not privy to that, but we are. The EBAN family is. The other people watching, and we can hear them going back and forth. I think the jury's tired. I think that a few of those motions that Steele had a chance to get out of his mouth in front of the jury, especially at the very beginning when she showed his name up on that, because as a prosecutor, you can't just go in there and say, the defendants are guilty because I said so.
Right.
That's why you need to find them guilty. You can't do that. The trial should have been over on day one on that. But, of course, the judge being in the position I already explained, he let that slid by. But so when that happened in front of the jury, I'm rest assured at least 3 or 4 of them is not feeling that prosecution side.
All right. Now, the vagueness of RICO.
Okay.
Have you seen any RICO cases where it's basically essentially let's look at it for what it really is. They're essentially saying that YSL is equivalent to the mob, and
Correct.
essentially Young Thug would be John Gotti, and
Correct.
essentially he's saying Stillwell is whatchamacallit, the bull, Sammy. So when you putting these two types of things beside each other, is there any way to really compare this? Like, is like through law, like we talking about, we see all these overt acts, right? But the overt acts is minimal in comparison to a real gang or mob, let's say, right? So my idea with that is it was surely young men using the gang to further their careers in music, similar to their the person he looked up to, Lil Wayne, his idol, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? Like real rap.
I'm following.
So it's like without all right. So look, all right. Normally, let me end it with this. Normally in a RICO, we see the proceeds. You can see that these boys been getting to it at a level that is uncanny when they go and retrieve what these boys then compiled together. Like when they do the raids at the end of a mob joint, and you hear what's going on. We talking about boys having flamingos and leopards in their house.
Right. And what's one of the first things that normally get them in trouble? Before you get to anybody that's unalive or any stealing or what's normally the first thing that it gets the whole thing started? Money. The money, taxes, the tax invade. That's where the feds come in.
Right.
Okay. When they're looking at the money, right? I'm gonna have to answer your original question. Have I ever seen the RICO at this? My answer is no, sir. I've never seen. This is the first time that I can remember me reading or following a state RICO. I've seen a lot of comments that people, and they're right. They are right in what they were saying in the comments one day, but that would be up under a federal RICO, which we're all more accustomed to, going back to Gotti and basically the breakdown of the
DMF.
Godfather later on, and so on and so forth. And that's why the whole object of the game is to take people who look like you, even if we were Italian. What do we want to do? We want to take some young Italian young men and women today. We want to push them through court. We want them to be our prosecutor, chief of police, sheriff, head of the prosecution team, a judge for that matter. You try to put your people in place and whatnot. I've never seen this through a state RICO, and I cannot answer for you right now. Matter of fact, I'm going to make that my homework. I don't know at this present moment if you need more to prove a state RICO, less than the feds to prove a state RICO, or their evidence chamber is the same. That I don't know. I'm not too clear on how you different between, like, for example, how did they come up and say, we're going to do a state RICO on this, like they did those teachers? I get the whole thing with Trump. I get the whole thing that they were trying to do with Thug. I get it. You're trying to cater to two different people in Fulton County. You want your European liberals. Okay, I'm gonna get Trump. And then you remember that older people you were saying in the jury, those 60 and 70-year-olds. Okay, that would kind of scare me, because I know, because I have family that live in Atlanta, the violence hasn't stopped. Ain't nothing. I mean, them people, you know how them kids, they're doing it in every city.
Facts.
Philadelphia, Pensacola, where I'm at, Montgomery, Alabama, New Orleans, Arkansas, they're doing it everywhere right now. So that's not the thing. But the way that it was advertised out 4 years ago coming into that election was, I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to clean this up to the older people that look like us and to the liberal Europeans. So that was a good move. However, the evidence based off of, and I'm listening every day, sir, you can almost give me a test on your videos. You give me 24 hours, I'll be able to tell you which one. I listen every day, even if I'm not in the chat. It's only because I'm working. I can listen. I just can't really get on my computer or my phone like that. I'm telling you that the evidence that they have produced thus far in this, and all those other little cases where these cases were resolved, are now relevant in a RICO, and that's supposed to be like a thumbs up, meaning you could do that. I'm just not too for sure if they, I believe they lost on the very moment they swung. You know how somebody will swing hard, but they miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So
That's my
look.
opinion on that.
So, is it possible, like, say me and you wanted to build up Atlanta? Could you see us using this to do that, knowing it's shallow, but it's our best way to draw attention to certain problems. Like, say for example, the Young Thug. Let me just say this real quick to give one example for
Take
what
your
I'm
time,
saying.
brother. I
So
appreciate you having me on, brother. Appreciate it.
this case said everybody look at Rice Street Jail. Would we be looking at Rice Street Jail and willing to say, yo, go ahead and get him a new jail, bro, if it wasn't for this trial?
Let me read the question back to you. You want to know that if we went to Atlanta to make some change and we were going to start at the Rice Street Jail and we wanted to bring some correction, we wanted to put this back on, build it up.
Yeah, we want
You
it
want to
better.
know, will we get rejection from the people? Will we get endorsed by the people? I'll say this. If you and I, especially you, and I can say this for myself from New Jersey, and I want you to feel what I'm finna tell you. I'm from New Jersey. I became a man in Alabama, though, right? A man from Alabama can go to New Jersey and almost become a kingpin, right? He almost could. Just from that training that he done got from the South that he doesn't even know. Staying away from the snitches, staying away from the European, and still making your money, right? However, if I came from New Jersey to Alabama with the thought of I'm finna get it up, I'm finna come up, I'll be done in 72 hours because you got two people that you're gonna have to go up against. One look like you. They're gonna first think of the nerve of you, and who are you to think you coming up in here? So they're gonna feel what they're gonna feel, and they're gonna react the way that they're gonna react. And part of their reaction is also going to be to report to their masters. Hey, man, K down here, man, that's so-and-so and them cousin from New Jersey. You know how them New York, New Jersey dudes think they run something and everything. You're going to be jacked up. That's why I'm saying when I be putting it in your chat that Atlanta, Fulton County, the A, is not as big as people picture it is. It's not that hard to differentiate between the people that's native there. I'm talking about 4 or 5 generations versus the one that's small. I mean, just 3 or 4 out of 100 who went to the A with the idea of I'm gonna get into the game. The other 97% that went to Atlanta, they went to go to one of the schools, Spelman for the girls, Morehouse, Clark, Georgia Tech downtown. They went for that reason. And then inside of that reason, they expanded out. Maybe they got their education and left. Maybe they stayed. But they're not going to be really quarreling with the natives of Atlanta. They're going to be out in Stone Mountain, out in Marietta, up in Roswell. They're going to be out in those areas. Even out in DeKalb, where I lived in Decatur, right off of 20. So that's how that's going to work. So no, I don't think with you and I meeting up in Atlanta, even if we got a couple of dollars, we finna no, because the powers the bees have made up in their mind, and I'm sure I know what they're thinking. They're thinking if they leave the status quo like it is, no matter how much yop you hear going on about the Rice Street Jail from everybody, lawyers, police officers, defendants. Everybody's on the same level as far as that system, that jail system, and how it operates. But if you've noticed, I'm talking about who's really trying to do anything about it. And we're talking about the natives. We're talking about the ones who nephew, son, daughter, and their nieces can wind up in that very same jail. I don't think they have no interest in doing it. It's a deterrent. They won't do that, so it won't be like paradise. Therefore, in their head, these kids and them won't be committing crimes to be down there in the first place.
I like that. All right, let me ask this. This case has seemed to shed light on lackluster police work. Let me say that. And the ability for police to patch the holes to get a conviction. Do you think, and the chat, do y'all think that this case will make the DA office all the way down to a beat cop consider what I will look like on stand telling this event and how they should be precautious of how they report on it. Let's say all the way from the beat
Can we
cop.
throw a name in it?
What you said?
Can we throw a name in it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest with each other. This for the chatting. If you got a daughter and she ain't even did nothing, they just called her down there to question, would you want your daughter sitting in there with Hamilton at 19, 23, 24 years old?
Facts.
With the Hamilton dude, the one that works on,
you already
I think
know. Yeah, that's a good one. And he
I'm
coming from the
talking about-
DA's office. You wouldn't even expect that.
When they said he was back there as part of the ex parte, bruh, I know I went crazy in your chat. I know I did personally. You
I
would
was
have
confused.
thought when that girl testified and was explaining how he was basically, trying to get up with her.
He was
and
hunting.
whatnot. Knowing that they're trying to, wrap this bow gift up around Thug and the YSL thing. And he but that's how that's what I'm saying, bro. Even the police officer, we already know. We don't have to spend no time in talking about, well, the police are gangs too. It's deeper than that. You got to remember, they kind of want to be like Thug, except remember when L was busting that gun? Remember when he was busting the gun in the car going off the ramp and landing on the other side of the street in the building? And you remember, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the flying car.
Yeah, the flying car. All right. You see how Hamilton, you listen to the description of not him. Listen to the other ones that testified that was there and whatnot. My boy got out like he was no differently than the very people that they claim they trying to lock up.
That's a fact.
That's their mentality. Except they got a way to do it halfway legally with a badge. But they still just as hood. They hood.
You know him and his partner got a body too, right? You seen that?
Of course.
All right.
Probably got 3 or 4.
I was thinking the same thing. I ain't gonna lie, and I think that was
But
part of the
But
fear.
that's speculating, so
Yeah.
I'm speculating. So
but for real, I think I ain't gonna lie. Them boys look like they was not playing. Yo, they smoked the dude at a police building. I forget the name of it. What type of police building it was? It wasn't necessarily a police station. I believe like an annex or something. That's crazy though.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. And then gotta remember, I gotta go back to the natives of Fulton County. I don't even want to keep saying Atlanta. I want to say Fulton County because the county is bigger than the city, right? You can have 3 sons, E. You can have one son, he in the street. You got another son, he went in the military, and your other son became a cop.
Right.
They still your sons, and they also brothers.
Oh, and let's not forget about the dudes they grew up with. So, like, that's a part of the chain of how this going to play out, too.
Same thing with the females. Even though she's a cop, she's trying to get her hair done. She's trying to make sure that uniform fit just right. And if you in the underground and you say, Lil Ma, God, oh, Lil Ma, I know you got the little badge on, she'll blush.
What? Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo, that's some of the funniest conversations. Dudes in the streets talking to police, women police. I done even had some funny conversations with them because it's weird. It's like, first off, you got this barrier of you're a cop, but you look good. Hold up.
Yes.
Hold on.
That's the whisper of the thrill, isn't it? Is that not the beginning of the whisper of the thrill?
Yeah, like, yo,
and
I
then
you want to
let Lil Ma know. Things. You want to let Lil Ma know quick. Lil Ma, I know you got all that on, but I ain't scared of you now.
This how they hit in Baltimore, y'all. They got this funny thing of saying the most elaborate way they don't mind being locked up by this lady. That's the slickest shit. Yo, you hear niggas say something like, man, now, yeah, you won't even be expecting it. Normally they catch you off guard on some old, yo, shit. I don't mind if I commit murder. I hope they send you.
Okay. Hey, listen,
Look,
check this
hey,
out.
yo, give me
No,
look.
let me put up my disclaimer. No Diddy, but if
Yeah,
you package right, she might want to pat you down 3 or 4 times.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
man, you feel
hey,
me?
I done been getting locked up, and somebody say, "Yo, let her pat." No, let her. No, you come in.
Yeah. Oh,
Seriously,
real.
come over here. You come pat me down. Real rap. Like it's a joke
Look,
because you getting locked up, but it'd be funny because it's like, yo, nah, she do look good though.
right. It's for real, but you got to put on your show. You know what I'm saying? You got to put on your show.
The
So
COs is
that's just a
funnier.
little bit of a peekaboo into, and I love Atlanta. I had the man back in the '90s as when we talked before. I told you I was there doing the real freak nicks. I'm talking about locked down. I have a picture somewhere of Too Short right there in the car beside me, purple Jaguar, some fine red bone sitting up in there, purple down herself, right? Like the real freak Nick. I'm talking about locked it down. I'm talking about I had a shirt that in Freak Nick 93, no, I'm sorry, 94. The mayor was like, don't come, don't come. This is when the Red Dogs. I love that day when y'all were talking about the Red Dogs, and
Yeah.
I like when y'all were talking about the Otwell boxing style. I've seen it be done. It's neat. It's pretty neat. I seen a Red Dog use the Otwell style on a person that he was fixing to arrest. Sure did. And he a Red Dog. That's what I'm saying. They local. But doing like the real Freaknik when they used to lock down, and my shirt said they told us not to come, which they did, but we came anyway. And those were the glorious days. Today, I was in Atlanta in maybe 2 years ago, when my father died, to catch a flight up to Jersey. And I'm telling you, today, yeah, I see why they're more pumping definitely around the neighborhoods, the local barber shop, the laundry mat and whatnot, because the underground was like dead. I couldn't. It was almost sad, and I saw more Mexicans than I ever seen in my life in Atlanta. And you're talking about I'm only right next door growing up in Alabama, so I back and forth to Atlanta wasn't nothing. Um, it's not quite the same. And now you done got some brothers and sisters who done got together who are careerists. They're not look, they're not studying their people one iota. What their number one adventure is their career and how
Capitalism.
far that they can go in their career. And they willing to step on your baby and my baby, whether they guilty or not, to do so.
See, y'all gangsters. Let me find out.
The A, baby. A lot. Hot Atlanta. Oh, goodness gracious almighty, man. Hot Atlanta. Uh,
So,
uh, uh.
so the culture wasn't heavy duty. It didn't have a criminal foundation on the forefront. All of the criminal stuff was tucked, and the people understood all of this. How you think it came to the forefront in the later, and let's say in the 2010 and coming forward? How did the entertainment start to embrace the street culture and them
I'm
start to
glad you asked me
merge?
that. I'm glad you asked me that. Now, what I'm fixing to say, and again, I want to qualify myself. I'm gonna be 52 next month. Okay, um, brother, and I know this is gonna sound kind of corny to the chat. Before y'all are experiencing seeing what you're seeing now, Atlanta, we were dancers. It was like the city was I don't care, flea market, anywhere they sold CDs and tapes back then. There would be groups out there. We literally be dancing against each other. Routine. That was the whole biggest hype. This is when Sharon Showcase was down on Glenwood. Club in Excess was on Memorial Drive. Like those that's how the culture was.
Oh, you mean
And then
dance crews from neighborhoods?
yeah, like we danced like that was like party like dance like we took it for real. We
Maybe a
called it
squabble or
geek.
two every once in a while, but dancing and squabbling.
Dancing and swap. That was the whole number one. That was the whole number one thing, right? All
And
right.
we talking about
Now
the different sets coming from projects, and this was going down, right?
this is how it used to be. when
All right.
it wasn't no I'm trying to kill or hurt you. Like it wasn't it was did you have some of it? Come on, man. Everybody got that somewhere in your city. But as far as the projective of how it is now, it wasn't like that. We're only talking 30 years ago. Now, here's something that I listened to your narrative on something, and I totally was in disagreement with it
Yeah.
when you were breaking down how you were speaking on the subject of the Bloods, and you was what's the word I want? You didn't say this for a fact. You was just speculating that Nut had went out west and I guess got his card, got his official card,
Mm-hmm.
and then came back to Atlanta and was bumping heads with the A wasn't known for this whole big blood thing. If
Mm-hmm.
you listen to what a lot of the guys, what's the boy that looked like he about 80 years old? The first one they had on the stand for about a week. Oh my
Bean.
God, what's the kid? What's his name?
Bean.
No, not Bean. No, not Bean.
Oh, tick.
Pig. Yes,
My bad. I should
yes.
have known. You said
Listen to
80.
what
Yeah, tick.
when he was telling the truth. When he was like, we were basically wannabes. We were claiming that we would throw it out there, but we really were broken down into what project we came from or
Right.
what particular, we don't have no community neighborhoods that they came from.
Mm.
So a young person would hear the word blood. Oh man, the blood's all up in Atlanta, man. Shoot, Birdman and all of them, man. Shoot, they got them bloods up there. And if we was at the barbershop and he said that, I would totally disagree with him. It wasn't built up like that. The West Coast did their thing. Yeah, the East Coast tried a little bit on the East Coast, they tried to mimic it, but we all have to agree it looks nothing like the structure of the West Coast where
Right.
this all originated at.
Now, hold
It's
on.
not structured that way. And
But
Tip
y'all had
told
the
you.
gangsterism
He said
going
it.
on, though.
Say one more time,
You
brother.
had the gangsterism going on. It's just not that. It's not that formula. So the younger
Not
people
that
picked up
formula.
that formula and kind of used it as a more of
A base. As a base.
yeah.
A starting point.
But so, do you think
Some-
that Nut took it a step further and decided that he wanted to be officially linked in?
No, I think, honest, truthfully, the part that I've gathered up, and I remember when this happened. I don't know. Like I told you, I'm a nerd. I kind of pay it, and I love Atlanta, right? Um, no. In my opinion, no. I think Nut wanted to move up and be a Birdman or um Jay Prince or not Jay
Mm,
Prince. You know what I'm talking about, those Texas boys. He
mm,
wanted to be he wanted to have his set of rappers, and I'm sure that he wanted them to kind of compete. Because remember, sometimes they go in the back room and their bosses say, "Hey, look, you're gonna put together a beef. We're gonna
mm,
pretend like we're having a major beef, and everybody's gonna tune in. They're
mm,
gonna we're all gonna get paid." And they say, "Let's do that."
mm.
But you don't never account for the younger guys, though. The younger guys who's not in that meeting and they're not at next door to the meeting. They in the basement.
No,
They
we
in their
want them to
head, they
turn
thinking
up
this
though.
real deal. I
No,
got a
we
real
want them to
beef with
really turn up at
Greenbrier.
the club.
Oh, but exactly.
We going, yeah. See, we got the main guys. They hip.
Exactly.
They hip. They know what
Exactly.
time it is. But they ain't supposed to tell everybody else. Let them squabble a little bit. Throw a chair. Throw a
Right.
chair. We needed to look
Get it on
real.
thing, get your Instagram, get on it, get that thing today. Oh my God, yeah. So yeah, that wasn't no two. You gotta remember now, in my eyes, I got my heart on the babies. When it was slowly starting to come out of Chicago, what? You don't like what? We beefing? Okay, bet. We ain't gonna fight. It's gonna be if I catch you slipping at I mean, come on, man. I mean, how much of a hero can you be pulling up at a bus stop, gunning somebody down? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they playing a
They
different game.
unarmed, they don't know you're coming. I don't see where we kind of made that the thing. Like, yeah, that's what's up. That means you're hard. I don't see nothing hard in that. I got another word, but I'll leave that for another day.
Yeah, it's
My
fine.
point is, the younger guys wasn't in on the meeting. And sometimes, even if you're trying to start a little clique, let's take the blood crip, let's take the major names out. You're just trying to be whatever your neighborhood was called, or a famous brother, or somebody y'all totally respected in your hood, and you named it, and y'all are that and whatnot. Well, the higher y'all are in the rap thing, especially with you, E, you could have easily been one of the ones in the meeting putting together the graphics, all of this, putting the not only the sound bite, you damn near gonna write the script out to them.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're connected to the people. That's your job. Your job is to give them what they want in your field of study. All right. You know what's going on. You take a couple, hey man, y'all gonna, hey man, matter of fact, to make it sweet, y'all gonna pop a couple of rounds up in the air like y'all really getting it at the club.
Oh yeah.
Then we're gonna disperse, right? And
What?
then we'll ride that for a minute, right? But them young gods, though, they're not in on that meeting. All they know is my hood is now beefing with this hood over here. So now they trying to catch the first person they can slip in.
Facts.
And do something because they're unaware. Nobody has no control over them. And I think that's I think that's sad. Even though I know who the real enemy is here. But like I said, and as you say, that's another subject for another day.
Yeah.
But what I'm also saying is valid. Those younger kids, they're children. Even if you're 25, look at it. Take a look at it yourself. Do you know how hard it is for a young brother to make it through his teens and make it to his 25th birthday?
16 to 24.
That's all. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, that's
they
hard
actually
enough.
set him up for the 16. So let me explain one of my things. They undereducated him. So when he gets 16, they can prepare him to put him in a situation to face the reality of there is a lack of job opportunity for this man. Then we undereducated him to be able to exceed this lack of job to outrace it. But in total numbers, y'all do know there is not enough jobs for the youth in your city. And I'm standing on that as a fact right now. We're talking about if all of the high schools produced a whole class of productive citizens that don't commit crime and they willing to work, ain't enough jobs for them. Flat out.
And take it a step further. I want to hit 2 points real quick. Matter of fact, let me move that 1 second. Let me take the first one. That 16-year-old, they knew what was up when he took in the 3rd grade, when he took that standard achievement test called the SAT. When he scored that in the 3rd grade below level, they already put his number in a hat to get a jail number right at that moment. It was already assigned then at that moment. Right?
Well, hold on. What about the curriculum leading up to that lets you know that they're going to more than likely be under the radar to be able to fit the scores that's going to send them. But hold on. What if we could go and strategically look at zip codes in areas and see how this was possibly done intentionally?
Of course. What I told you the first time we talked, my politics is ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, and what's owed to us in reparations. That's my politics. That's me.
That's an idea. Let's shave the word politic off. We don't like to talk about politics here. We keep it in an idea base. So let's yeah. No, keep going though.
All right. So that's my angle. So I know that coming into it. But like I told you earlier, my mom died at 37. I was in Alabama around all my stepdad's people. My family, both sides. I'm the only son. I don't have no brothers, and I don't have any male first cousins. All I have is sisters and female first cousins. I'm the only grandboy on both sides of the family. But I did. I actually came up in the streets. What you just said was most important. The only reason why I probably didn't tilt her all the way over was because I always was academically inclined. I took my grades serious. I wanted to be the dude you can come to. Hey man, the way the teacher said that, I ain't getting it here. But let me break it down to you in the street. You got this. You can break that down, right? Right. Okay, same thing. Just apply that to your regular math. What you do on equations, what you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do on the other. Well, that's life. When you put one shoe on, you have to cross over your body to go and put the other shoe on so you have balance, right? If nobody, their parents and their parents' parents were caught up in this system in every city, right? And because that is there, yeah, they run that test. They ain't trained them for it for real. How a young brother gonna know what a sailboat really is? No more than what he done seen on TV. He's not gonna. He's not. Or how to set a dinner table. Mom and dad, how to put which areas you put the fork and the spoon and what plate and a salad plate. How they gonna know? How they gonna know anything like that? And mom and dad, or mainly mom, is trying to put a meal together every night, let alone trying to set the table right. You know what I'm saying? But they'll put that on the test. Once they failed that in third grade, okay, now they got a projectile for them. Okay, this person is most likely, not to say that they are, but they most likely will wind up in the penal system. So we're going to go ahead and assign them a number and wait on it because they're patient. Okay,
Oh,
that's not a big deal.
well, hold on. But if we preset how many available spaces is in this penal system, and we sold the contract for it being at its max capacity, then for sure we would have to premeditate a way to keep it filled, right? And if we successfully kept them filled since their creation and until they're overfilled, and we already had a procedure to deal with overfilling, does that prove that we premeditated this and we possibly could be charged with a conspiracy because it's definitely more than 3 of us and we definitely gained? God damn.
Listen, we definitely participating. We definitely are participating in the very thing that is hurting. There. I mean, you got to look at it. The system has benefits and privileges. To some people, that's a big deal, and maybe rightfully so. It's a source of survival. The system, a government supposed to take care of its people as its people make sure that the structure of the government is set in place. So, because you got to have law, you got to.
Right.
Here's something that I don't know, or maybe you know. Even going back to Wright Street or or the cab over there, right off of Memorial Drive, I want to know how many of them go out on work release a day. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and they're
okay.
having to have a kickback to the county or to the correctional facility that's sponsoring it in order to have that little piece. I don't know that right now, but I know it exists, and I know I've seen it work. Maybe not in Atlanta, but I definitely done seen it work where, hey, these guys, I mean, they're not killers, but we got them in the system. Hey, let's start a work release program, and they can go work over there at Uncle Bob's chicken plant.
All right. I'm about to kick it up a notch, right? Since you here, I'm going to say something that's heavy. All right, to the people listening, get ready. I'll be in salute. I see what you're saying. Hold up. Relax. I'll be in. Check this out. So what if I told y'all it's more free labor going on right now?
Don't laugh, E. It's sad,
Do I need to
man.
finish this?
Go ahead, work though. Go ahead, work.
Do I need to finish that phrase? Listen. I ain't even gonna finish it. Watch. I'm about to set up a half a sentence right now, and you finish it. Listen. It's more black men working for